So there's been a number of coming-of-age dramas in this festival, and I'm wondering what made you feel like this particular script was something new to that genre, something that we hadn't seen before?
Well, for me, the script just laid the groundwork for what I knew I wanted to do with my first feature, which was like I wanted to make something that didn't feel disposable and felt cinematic and felt just big in scope and felt like a movie first and foremost. And I knew that it allowed me the opportunity to play with tone and to sort of do this old meets new thing, to have like very classic themes yet very contemporary, a very contemporary vibe. And I think all of us, like, we didn't want to make something that you felt like you'd seen before. Right. We wanted you to feel comfortable in the sense that, yeah, these have elements that you've seen before, but we wanted there to be something fresh about it and just to tell a coming-of-age story in a way that you've never seen.
Right.
Someone the other day described it to me as Super Nintendo meets Terrence Malick, and I was like, okay, I'll take that.
Kelly, Joe can't talk right now because he's grounded. He will call you back sometime before his hot new bedtime of 7:30. You have a good night. My house, my rules. This ends today.
I especially like the drum sequence, the scene where y'all are drumming, and the way that you used the drum sequence as a score throughout the film. Was that your idea, or was that something that happened organically? Was it in the script?
No, it wasn't in the script at all. We all kind of stumbled into that. I took them to this location on our off day. We shot that. The audio from that is on my iPhone. It was just like one of those rare moments where we were all just messing around and we were just having fun. And then immediately it was like, okay, I need to start rethinking this whole movie. Like, I knew that was just a special thing. So.
Oh, it certainly was, and it really works to connect the plot.
Yeah.
I certainly get a disconnection between the parents in this film and the children. And I'm about 3 years away from having teenagers myself. So I'm kind of wondering if that's
good
something.
Luck.
Yeah, I know. I'm weary. Two of my kids are fine, but I have one daughter that's just like, she's going to be the biggest pain in the ass in the world, and I'm like, God, if she's already a pain in the all right, whatever, she knows. Anyway, she's going to be a pain in the ass, and so I'm wondering, what do you think it is about parents and teenagers that just create this disconnection?
They're just not supposed to get along. You know what I mean? Like that's like when the movie's about that specific time in your life when you think you have the world figured out better than anyone. When I was that age, I thought I understood everything.
Right.
I understood the world better than anyone. And then you need that moment where shit comes crashing down. And I think just naturally, and these two can speak better at it because they're closer to that age, but I think that there's naturally going to be tension as children try and become their own person, and they're going to fail at it the first time,
Yeah, it's like we all remember doing it. It's just, you want to shape, how can I still have a relationship when they're teenagers?
Right.
I have no idea.
I feel it's just different. You're born with a personality,
Right.
I feel like sometimes a military, being completely straight with them works for some people, and then some people rebel against that and become worse and go party harder. And I think it's just, you just have to really study your kids and know what's up with them and give them space when they need it and all this good stuff. And at the same time, not be easy on them either. I feel it's a hard balance, and I think this movie it shows how, adding on what Jordan was saying, that just teenagers just feel like they're 20 already. They want to get out. They want to, do whatever the rappers are doing, and there's just a bunch of inspiration now, YouTube and all that. Just so many things that we're seeing now that it's just a different generation, and the next generation is going to have something that I'm not going to keep up with. So it's just, it doesn't end.
Yeah, I feel like the way teenagers look at their parents is very subjective. Like, I can think my parents are crazier, than Moises or Jordan's, and then they're like, no way, you have no idea, I think it just differs from kid to kid and parent to parent, and I don't think there's, a certain method in how parents should raise their kids. Like Moises was saying, it all depends on the kid. And in reality, there's, nothing wrong with the parents in Kings of Summer. They're just, it's all from how the kids see it and how they think they're being wronged. and which is reality. You know, at that age, you think you're being wronged when you don't get what you want, regardless of like what would happen. And it's just, you know, at that age, you just have to sit back and look at things, which is really hard. But you have to look at things objectively and view and say, you're wrong. You know, like, I'm wrong. I can't do this by myself. And through them running away into the woods, through us, you know, like going into the woods, we realize that we don't have shit figured out, you know.
Right.
And it takes the woods to let us know that.
And you definitely get that coming across. And I completely agree about the parents thing. My mom is like a saint. I mean, she is the perfect person. She was always cool, let me do everything. I still went out and did drugs and got fucked up. So it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
However, the one thing that was hilarious in this movie, but I just don't understand, what's up with this Biaggio character?
Biaggio?
What's going on here? Like, where did that come from?
I mean, that came from the mind of Chris Galetta, the writer, and that is very much his voice. You know, I always joke that he sort of is that character. But we always knew that it was going to be a really difficult role. Like, you know, if that role didn't work, it would just be this character that was constantly trying too hard, you know, and not only that, but then like a big, you know, the build of the movie and the climax really rests on being emotionally invested in this guy, so that when, you know, shit goes down, you can simultaneously laugh at it and be like, oh fuck, we really like this kid,
right?
And look at what this kid did for somebody else. And then Moises came on and just completely took it over. You know, it took us a little bit to really truly find it, but once we found it, he was just burning white hot. And,
no, it works.
Everything.
It's
Yeah.
You did a really good job.
I appreciate that.
I actually want to know a little bit about the building of the house. Was that all the production team, or did you guys actually have anything to do with that?
If we had more time, I would have had them much more involved. I put together some early sketches when I was first pitching on the movie, sort of designing the house, and we just wanted to make it feel real and authentic and not movie magic. You know, we wanted to make it feel like something that the kids could do while still having it be idealized enough that it could still feel iconic. You know, we didn't want it to feel so big that you're like, well, they could never do that.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't want it to feel so unimpressive that it's like, well, then what's the point of running away to the woods? You know, there's like a really fine line. We wanted to ride there, and so a lot of it was, you know, the idea of saying they have $300, they have hammers and nails, and if they picked up any book about basic like structures, could they do this? And
I bought it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
it works. And it's certainly, I mean, I certainly understand that feeling of, you know, like a summer where you get to, you know, kind of be on your own. I remember when I was a teenager, there was a camper that my grandmother bought, and we never came in the house. We never did anything other than to bathe. It was just the camper. We cleaned it. We took care of it. We did everything. We got fucked up in it. You know, nobody knew what was going on, and it was great. You know, and that really was. I mean, I think back on it, it's one of the times that that helped progress me into adulthood.
Yeah. So, you know, our production design team, they constructed the thing, and you know, honestly, it was fun watching these guys kind of tear it apart because we sort of did it in reverse order. Right. So the montage where they're actually building the house is these guys actually literally tearing it apart, which is cool. So
that's the fun part of building. You know, tear it down.
That's all we have time for.
Thanks so much, man.
It was great
to meet you.
I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Take care, bro.
My name is Jamal Colorado, and I have kidnapped your son. Anferny, Texas. Deshaun, Utah.
Yeah, I decided on the format of Denzel Washington, a black first name followed by a state.
Good effort, although savagely racist.